Absolutely sickening for Rishi Sunak to make a transphobic joke at PMQs while Brianna Ghey's mother is watching in the chamber. That's all trans people are to him, an opportunity for cheap point scoring. There are no words. What a disgrace. That's all that's on Twitter today. Post after post after post after post by ridiculous, insincere, it's fake outrage by these people. All the usual suspects are at it. Come on, let's have a look at another one. Rishi Sunak should resign while Brianna Ghey's mother is watching. Sunak mocks transgender people. Listen, right, let's tackle this one head on, shall we? Mocking transgender people would involve personally mocking and insulting them. I'll give you an example. This is mockery. This square-headed politician looks like Frankenstein's monster in an ill-fitting wig. That's mockery. The object of Rishi Sunak's derision was Kier Starmer. That's it. And they've somehow turned it into a call for him to resign. And damn them for making me defend Rishi Sunak. Because my loathing and hatred for him is total. Essentially, if Nadia Whitcomb is the barrel of piss, Rishi Sunak is merely the scum that's floating atop of it. I don't like any of them. But mockery has a dictionary definition, and that wasn't it. But you want to see the video, and you want to see me take the piss out of the people crying about it, so let's do that, shall we?
But it's a bit rich, Mr. Speaker, to hear about promises from someone who's broken every single promise he was elected on. I think I counted almost 30 in the last year. Pensions, planning, peerages, public sector pay, tuition fees, childcare, second referendums, defining a woman. Although in fairness, that was only 99% of a U-turn. The list goes on, but the theme is the same, Mr. Speaker. It's empty words, broken promises, and absolutely no plan.
That really was it. That was it. In the middle of however many hours this absolute shite goes on, that was his response. Plenty of alliteration there, hats off for that. Out of the many promises that Starmer has broken, which we know he has, he's gone through more flip-flops than an Afghan shoe seller. And he was pointing them out, and amongst it all, he happened to say, oh yeah, and you also flip-flopped on defining what a woman is, because he knows that 9 out of 10 people in the general public are fully aware that these people are raving lunatics, and everything they say is at odds with the general public. Rachel Reeves, I did a video all about her. I'm sure you remember that one. One more time, Rachel.
Is it transphobic to say only women have a cervix?
Look, is it transphobic?
Yep, the doughty, hardy woman. I definitely trust her to make big decisions, the hard decisions, the tough calls required for geopolitics. What an absolute plank. These people are around the bend. They have no idea what's going on. And all of these tweets is just performative outrage. They don't even believe the nonsense that they're typing. A 10-second jibe about the Prime Minister changing his mind a lot is not an attack upon an individual who happened to be the victim of a crime. And related to all this fake outrage, people talking about how upsetting it must be for the mother to be there when in the middle of hours of debate, a 10-second reference is made while mocking the opposition, making a tenuous link to a crime that the daughter was involved in, or son, if you've actually got eyeballs. And I want to ask you a very simple question. At the last count, they believe that the grooming gangs in the UK over a period of several decades tortured, abused, raped, and yes, occasionally murdered literally tens of thousands and possibly hundreds of thousands of children. And our politicians have spent the last 2 decades constantly making excuses for the people that engaged in that behaviour at every single opportunity. When there's a mass terror attack, they just talk about how everybody has to heal and how we all have to play Imagine on a piano and hug each other. Do you remember that one? The Independent blindfolded, we'll just call him a Sikh. He gives free hugs in Manchester in trust experiment after terror attack. Oh, isn't that nice? That's all the media was full of. Syrupy nonsense like that. So I want to know this. If your kids were scattered up against the side of the Manchester Evening News Arena, or stabbed in the eye on London Bridge, or blew up in the Borough Market, or derailed in a train in Madrid, or went through an unscheduled surgical procedure in the middle of London like Lee Rigby, I want to know this. Are you offended when the politicians spend the next day talking about how the biggest victims of all of these crimes are the people that perpetrated them? Because I find that somewhat offensive, and I'm fortunate enough to not know anybody whose children got coaxed above a smelly kebab shop and then rogered more than a copper's radio by a gang of swarthy foreign gentlemen. So I'm just putting it out there. If they can get offended by a 10-second quip mocking Kier Starmer, I think we can get offended by the entirety of the establishment hours after a horrific terrorist attack or thousands and thousands of monstrous attacks on children. I think it's fair for us to get a little bit ticked off when the mainstream media and Silicon Valley and all of the politicians and all the House of Lords and the coppers and the lawyers and the judges pontificate about how tragic it is that maybe we might upset the followers of one specific epileptic desert midget's teachings. I'm just putting it out there. Seems a bit weird to me that all of the media and all of the Twitterati are worrying about this 10-second quip, whereas we have to like it and lump it. When kids get blown up and all of our leaders do is worry about the feelings of the people that did it. But let me know what you think. Maybe I'm being insensitive. And maybe everybody on Twitter's right. Rishi Sunak makes fun of transgender people. Rishi Sunak made a joke about Starmer defining a woman. Oh my god, the insensitivity is beyond words. Unbelievable. Sunak jokes about trans people. It's almost every tweet on Twitter today. It's laughable. That's more of a reach than mini-me trying to reach the optics behind the bar. It's unbelievable. But let me know what you think. If I'm just a callous prick, please let me know in the comments. If you can somehow make sense of this, that mere quip was mocking people, I'd love to know. I'd love to know you're doing that mental gymnastics. So yeah, let me know. Alright, thanks for watching. See you all very soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.